Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dad's listening to Tomcats. Talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to Winter is Blooming, a Game of Thrones rewatch podcast by us, the Penny Bloom Podcast. Today, we are discussing Season 5, Episode 5, titled Kill the Boy. It was written by Brian Cogman, the Cogman, and directed by Jeremy Podeswa. I am Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you, and we just have another fucking banger on our hands. Game of Thrones. So what we're doing right now, what we generally discuss week to week, my favorite movies of all time, which in many cases happen to be some of the greatest movies of all time, and Game of Thrones on Monday, and then we're going to talk Scorsese here before long. We talk Nolan and Wes Anderson and Gerwig, it's making it really hard to enjoy other things because we watch so much really, really, really good shit. And my God, was this fucking good.
This is true. Like, I was recommended just like a Netflix show from my brother, and I watched it's like 10 episodes. I watched like 6 episodes of it, and I'm like, yeah, like it's all right.
It's entertaining.
Like,
you know?
The story does it, there. And then, but like, man, are some of the performances just like not the same, or like the quality's just not the same. And like, yeah, it is a little different. And I mean, it doesn't hurt. I mean, is Game of Thrones the best show of all time? Like, it's kind of unanimous a little bit. Like, overall, is that even possible?
It had too hard of a fall off at the very end to be unanimously considered the greatest show of all time. For 5 seasons, maybe 6 seasons, it was. And then
I'd say even with the ending,
I think it still has it's still top 5, top 3 even maybe. Like when you talk about the greatest shows of all time, HBO kind of has that on lock. Besides, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, but The Sopranos and The Wire.
How many?
The Wire, The Sopranos, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad. Those are the 4 you hear every single fucking time.
This is true. Breaking Bad only having 5 seasons. Yes. I think that is a tell. Like they had, and think about how many more storylines are happening in this show, in Game of Thrones versus Breaking Bad. There's more storylines per episode. It went on for longer.
Well, and that's the thing, is that like the only reason this show falls off at the end is because the events of season 7 and season 6, or season 7 and season 8, probably should have been the events of season 7, 8, 9, and 10.
This is true.
So
it was really only bad because they decided to rush something that you just can't rush.
No. Especially a show that never did rush. Like
this episode, nothing happened. Like, I guess, like,
not
we say a few
significantly pushing the plot forward.
Or it is like Stannis leaves Castle Black. Might be the biggest thing to happen this episode. I guess maybe Jorah getting grayscale. That sucks. But
Danaerys marrying his
biggest move, the biggest thing that is happening.
Forward.
Is like Stannis leaves Castle Black. That's about it. That's all that's happened this episode. And I don't know, I love these episodes where you check in with everybody, see where everything's at, and like it's really cool that like Stannis leaving kind of just intertwines with like Sansa and like the Winterfell and all of, like, it's like, oh, these two storylines are coming together now. This is just really cool. Like, I don't know. I love like, there's not many other shows that like really have just like the multi threadedness, I guess, or like just the interconnected web that Thrones is.
Oh man, and it's just they just know how to fucking do it, and they did for so long, and it was a heavy workload. The actors.
That's true.
You're
Long
shooting
time too.
You're shooting you're shooting some of your scenes in Norway, but next you're going to be in Croatia.
Dang,
and then
that's
you're gonna be
true.
here. Because they go on location, and that's one of those things that's like that makes it easier on an actor to not do that. But man, does it look better when they do that?
Yeah. Man, if we just had goddamn teleportation, you know how many problems would be solved?
Dude.
God, if we could just teleport. I don't know. But like I remember, I think it might have been last episode. We were talking, we were like, do you think like right now that they know who Jon ends up being? This was like the most blatant. Like, it was so blatant. If you're watching it for the first time, you have no fucking clue.
But like on rewatch, oh my god.
It was the most slap in the face, like, yeah, this dude's a fucking Targaryen. But like, I don't know. I wonder if the people who were like really into the show, like right now, like watching it live week by week, if they caught this, like at all. If anyone caught this as like, whoa,
what's really fascinating is that I think the viewer that I am now, which, granted, I will credit in part to Game of Thrones for being able to get me to my level of, being able to read into shit.
Yeah.
I think if I saw a moment like this now for the first time, I'd have been like, oh, wait a minute. A
little Leonardo pointing at the screen here. This. I don't know, because, I mean, obviously, it helps that we know. It makes it abundantly clear.
But I think that, we'll get there. It is my favorite line of the episode.
It's my favorite line of the episode. Yeah, so, we should. King's Landing. Fuck yeah.
King's Landing.
That's one of 4 episodes so far of the entire show that doesn't involve King's Landing. The Red Wedding and fucking the Battle of the Wall. Forgot the name of that.
Watchers on the Wall.
Like the first episode, or maybe like the King's Road, maybe like, I don't know, something like that. And then I forgot the other one. Or this one is the other one. Yep. There it is. But
yeah, we only have 4 locations in this one. We're going to Marine, then we'll head to the Wall, then we'll go to the north, and then we will top it off with Old Valyria. But how about we start it in Marine? I've got it like perfectly, like 3 of the locations have all my favorites. It's not like one place dominated the episode for me.
I got 1, 2. I got 2 locations, I guess.
Yeah.
For me.
No, it's good though, man. It's good. Let's start in Marine. Wherein Missandei is watching over the wounded Grey Worm, who is still unconscious from his wounds sustained fighting the Sons of the Harpy. And meanwhile, Daenerys and Daario watch over the deceased Sir Barristan Selmy, and immediately you're kind of just like, God fucking. Oh.
Yep. Yeah. Did it open up on Grey Worm and then go to... So yeah, okay. So I mean, you were kind of like, still for a moment, you were like, okay, maybe Barristan, makes it out of this. But then like, yeah, whenever it opens up, it's just like, oh man. Like, I don't know, I almost like expected like coins to be over his eyes, or like for them to do, but like, no, how would Daenerys know of like the traditions of like, I guess like, if Barristan would have died in King's Landing, like if he wouldn't have left and Joffrey just didn't, Joffrey wasn't a thing, and he died in King's Landing, does he get like that like burial that like Tywin got, and like all the dead kings, where they put the rocks over your eyes, lay you on the table and the set for a little bit, and then bury you or whatever? Like, I wonder if like Selmy would have gotten that treatment in King's Landing or not.
It's hard to say at this point due to the fact that, he was dismissed from his post.
Yeah.
If he'd lived up
say he goes through his whole life with his oath and everything, to the day.
That's an interesting thought. I'm not sure, because I tend to think of the that as the place where they bury royalty.
The royal family. Yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense. Because I was thinking like, because obviously we've seen kings, but then like you see Tywin.
Yeah, and that's
That's
why I
royal
think it's like
family.
the
I
family
guess
of the maybe hands and kings. You know, like he was a hand of the king, so maybe
that's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
But I
Okay.
would like to think that
I can
Barristan
say
Selmy would
useless.
get the same treatment as the head of the
Yeah.
King's Guard.
Yeah, maybe no Kingsguard even do, but he was just so influential and so badass. They're like, yeah, we got to bury this dude in the Sept, or like in wherever. Like we got to memorialize this dude.
Well, and it seems like I'm interested to know if the ritual that we do see, like the stones over the eyes and stuff, like, do you think that's a religious thing? That's the light of the seven ritual,
probably. Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting to know that, like, is that the treatment Barristan got here? Did he get?
I don't know. They just kind of put him on a
slat
table. Yeah, I don't know what that room, like where that was. Just kind of a.
I think that was the throne room. It was just on one of the steps.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty badass. Throne room in a pyramid, right by your queen.
Dope. Yeah. But yeah, the whole exchange that Daenerys and Daario have there, with like he came all this way to fight for his queen, and he died for me and stuff, and just like an extremely moving couple of moments there with Daenerys and Daario. Immediately followed up with his Darzo Larak pulling up and being like, "I am so very sorry. This is such a sad event. It's a damn shame." And Dario's like, "Shut the fuck up for a second, okay? I got to talk to Dany." So how about we just go ahead and go out and kill everybody? How about that? You down with that?
What do you
think? What if we did that?
We're thinking about it. We could do it strategically.
Yeah.
I got the plan.
We have the capability to do that. Well, and that, like, not only does this give you a key insight to how Daario, how Daenerys kind of thinks about things, but how much everyone cared about Barristan. Like, them killing Barristan was enough for them to be like, okay, what if we just went out there and killed everybody?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I was trying to think about this as to, like, what actually pissed them off, enough. And, like, it was, an attack on the city. Yeah. Like, they killed, Unsullied, and it was just, like, a straight-up
large-scale attack, yeah.
So, like, on its own, it's already, like, yeah, this is pretty bad. But I don't think they go to the level of saying, let's kill everyone.
I would argue the flip.
Oh.
I'd argue that because they killed Barristan, Daenerys knows that's not what he would have done.
But if he didn't get killed, he would have been able to tell her himself because he's alive still.
It's true. That's true.
Maybe
he would have counseled her against that. No matter what, this is how it ends up happening.
Yep.
They're never going to go.
The decision is made no matter what already. It was close though. I mean, goddamn, was it pretty close? Dany was pretty furious this episode. I don't know,
like glimpses again. We get the glimpses, but it's within more reason than it ever has been in your head.
This is true.
I mean, not more so than ever. Like she's always had something you could point to and go, well, this is why it's okay. And this one, you're very able to excuse. You have no beef with what's going on here. But when
I don't know. It also just kind of sucks that she just got told about Rhaegar, like a little bit of like, I was right there by him. We did all the stuff in the streets. You know how many stories that Daenerys wanted to hear or could have heard, and like that would have just been really cool. And just, it sucks that he's gone, man. That's just like, that hurts a lot.
A living connection to Daenerys' family history,
just a goat too.
He represented a lot to Daenerys, I think, and at least he came to, especially since she sent Jorah off. Jorah's gone now. Barristan's dead. Now she's still got Daario and Grey Worm to hold it down for her, but Grey Worm's injured. Dario leads
no one's
a
wise
mercenary.
yet.
Yeah.
Like the Barristan and Jorah kind of had the age to them where they could, they've been through shit.
Now they're just a team of youngins.
Yeah, Dario's just
like,
let's just fucking go. Dario's like, let's just do it. Who cares about anything? And then, I guess later on, like Missandei's the wisest one there.
Oh yeah.
And like out of all of them. So
she's been through some shit, man.
I didn't think about that. Her council took quite the hit with
very quickly
exiling Jorah and then Barristan dying. That is a big hit.
Well, and it just keeps like she has small wins and big wins until the end of the show, but like watching stuff pile up over the course of this show as shit that's happened to her and shit that's been taken away from her. A Targaryen alone in the world is a terrible thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's going to be my favorite line later on just because of how foreshadowy it is.
Awesome.
But,
yeah. No,
and we'll talk about that more then. But, like, just seeing how people are slowly taken away from her and how she's forced to leave people behind and how she's forced to get rid of people like Jorah, later Dario, Barristan dies. And then in the last season when Jorah takes the hit, Missandei goes down. Jon distances himself from her. Like, it's just, there's so much evidence that when she gets backed into this corner where she's alone, shit's not gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no. Because, I mean, not many people have, like, an ace in the hole in their back pocket like Daenerys does. Because, like, if things aren't really going her way, she holds it down pretty well, and she's doing things for the right reasons, and for no slavery. That's cool. Like I'm much more behind that than someone like I don't know, fucking Castor out north of the wall.
Yeah,
Craster. There, that didn't sound right. But Daenerys has 3 dragons in her back pocket and can actually snap really big, if she gets mad. And I don't know. I like seeing I guess we haven't really got there yet, but I just want to know if do you think she enjoys the harsh when she has to be harsh and fear? Do you think she enjoys that?
100%. I think this is one of the things that she kind of gets from. I mean, not only her Targaryen bloodline, but I mean, spending time with a Khalasar and running with the Dothraki. If someone betrays your family, your Khalasar, you fucking die. And it's part of the culture. So I think it does make her happy. And that maybe not happy. That's probably the wrong word for it. But she's completely fine with it. She has no moral qualm with what's happening.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't know why. I was expecting at the end of whenever she's fired up, I expected a little bit of it to stop on her face and her to be kind of uneasy about what she did, but then it just never came. It was no, she was almost proud of it. Actually, when I was paying attention, this Marine, Amelia Clark throughout this whole thing, just fucking. She's good. I know she went. So that's who I went with for performance of the episode. She was doing it well.
Yeah, I love when she speaks Valyrian too, just seamlessly. It's just like she's speaking English, and she's. It feels so incredibly difficult to me in my mind to speak a language that doesn't exist and still act on top of it instead of just reciting it. You know what I'm saying?
It's not like she's just a useless monologue. It's literally oh, maybe some of you are innocent. Maybe all of you are. Maybe none of you are. We'll let the dragons decide. It's oh shit, she's going crazy. Oh,
she's going full mother of dragons. But yeah, no, I loved this whole sequence on Marine. But the cut after Dario suggests this, instead opting to round up the leaders of each great family in Marine, and his star's but your grace, I am a leader of a great family in Marine. She's I know that, so come on now. They go ahead and seize him, and they're brought into the basement the catacombs of the pyramid. This is my scene for sure.
Ooh, okay.
Mostly
Nice.
because there's not a lot on this rewatch that I don't really remember. You know, like I generally remember everything that happens. Very little catches me by surprise. Like I'll cry, I'll react with, you know, joy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time I think in the rewatch where like my breath caught. Like I was like I kind of gasped, and it was because whenever Daenerys is talking, and then it just cuts to black.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, did something happen to my TV? And then just like eases into the light. I was like I genuinely like a little gasp. I was like, oh fuck,
was so good. Oh my god!
Well, and like what was crazy is it kind of scared me. It made my heart leap, and I was like, that's not something that this show ever does for me. You know what I'm saying? And like I that's why I text you when I was like 7.5 minutes in and was like, well, I already have two of my favorites.
Yeah.
I had my scene and I had my line, and the line comes a little later, but
there was some good kind of like horror, like with this, and then like the
Miranda later on.
Yeah. With who?
Miranda, that's Ramsay's fuck buddy.
With the dogs. And like
there's like a little cue that sounds like a horror music note, like yeah, but it's actually the hinges on the door opening. But like it's super cool, and we'll get to that later. But that was one of my favorite little moments in the episode.
Man, director, who was this again directing this?
Jeremy Podeswa.
Pop off, Jeremy.
That's one.
Pop off, yeah, Jeremy.
He went in on this one.
On this episode, yeah.
Jeremy Podeswa is
nice.
He was he did pretty fucking good on this one. But yeah, I loved this scene. You know, Rhaegal and Viserion, they cook their food and eat it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, she threatens Hizdar a little further, you know, and Hizdar doesn't want to die a coward, you know, Valar Morghulis. And you know, just she starts talking that shit.
No need to overfeed them.
Yeah.
Yeah, switches from Valyrian back to the common tongue. Maybe tomorrow though.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. That's all. That's just quick little presentation I had to show you guys real quick to remind you that I do have dragons at my disposal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love that. We get all 3 dragons in this episode. I didn't even realize. Forgot a little Drogon flyby.
Yeah, that
we
was
get a little later. So we
dope.
did get all 3. Usually it's just either those 2 or Drogon.
Yeah.
They weren't together, but yeah.
But no, I love the little monologue she gives before. You know, good mothers do not give up on their children, but they discipline them if needed. And I like the way it works as like a double entendre. You know, like she's like, I'm a literally feed my kids, and and then also I'm gonna discipline y'all. You know,
yeah,
call
you are my children.
Yeah, I mean, y'all, the people call her Misa. You know,
that's true. That is true. Yeah. I mean, it does work both ways. Fluidly here. Fluently? Does that work fluidly?
It works for me, you know? I don't know. I completely understand what you mean and what was said. And it might not be technically grammatically correct, but I understand completely.
I think it's just close enough to fluently that it sort of gets the idea across. Fluidly? I don't know.
Fluidly, it's liquid, you know. It's malleable. It works in multiple ways, in multiple forms.
It's fugazi. It's
a wazi. It's a woozy.
Not even real.
It's not on the elemental charts. It never landed. It's fairy dust, motherfucker. But so they cook a guy, one of the leaders of the great families, and they go ahead and eat him, and Daenerys goes ahead and pulls off, and she's like, all right, Hizdar, go ahead and get locked up in a cage for a while. That was my favorite scene, and it was like the first scene, so I was tempted on numerous occasions to change it, which is like, it's a good fucking episode. But later on, Grey Worm wakes up with Missandei sitting beside him.
Enter my scene. Yeah,
There you
both
go.
scenes are coming out of Marine. Yeah, this, I don't know. Just something about Marine this episode. It was
Dude,
shot
and I
very
think
well.
it just continues to portray like we've valued them as a council quite a great bit. But I feel like there's like a closeness to the almost family of like found family of Daenerys and
Yeah.
Missandei and Grey Worm and Dario and all that kind of comes into full play because Grey Worm, when he wakes up and like first thing he asks is like, "Where's Barristan?" Is Barristan okay?
Damn it! Like, damn it! There's not many relationships in this show that are good and that you care for, and that I know both people are awesome. Jon and Ygritte, Sam and Gilly, and then I'd say, yeah, like I mean that's probably it. Like, there's not many more. And this was just such a nice moment for this show, like to actually get like a little romantic in there. And like I don't know, what a perfect, like just the I don't know what, like just how they don't fear anything, like the Legend of the Unsullied, they don't fear anything. Like what, just a cool like way to throw fantasy, like the fantasy of the show in with like just a really nice loving moment.
Heart of it.
Yeah, like I was like, oh my god, no, that's just sick. Like I don't know, and the way the scene was shot too, it just looked
gorgeous.
Yeah, like Missandei just illuminated fully, like the sun is directly behind her, so it's like it's literally making like this halo like around her hair. I don't know, it's this crazy looking light, and then Grey Worm must be like, holy shit, I might be dead right now, like I might be in heaven.
Are you an angel?
Yeah, and I don't know, I thought it was just done actually really well, and I'm like, wow, in a show where I can see a dude get torn in half by two dragons and then burnt and then eaten for dinner. Like, it's nice that I can also get this on the other hand, like, it's nice to have these moments, and they're rare. So that's, I don't know, that's why I pointed it out.
I like that. I like that reasoning.
But yeah.
No, it's a wonderful scene. Yeah, Grey Worm, he's like, I failed him. I failed my men and I failed Daenerys. And Missandei's like, nah, you're good, man. I understand, but you did everything you could, and tells him he shouldn't be ashamed for being wounded, given that he was ambushed and outnumbered. But Grey Worm says he is ashamed that he was afraid when he was stabbed. Missandei says, well, everyone fears death. And Grey Worm's like, no. I do not fear death. It is the thought of never getting to see Missandei again that made him afraid.
And he always calls her like Missandei of the island of Noth. Or is it like of like from the island of Noth. Like, I don't know, it's just so cute.
Missandei,
like
from the island.
And the switch to English too. Like his English is getting better, and like but she's like also like, all right, let's get serious. I don't know, like it's just the switch to English because we speak English. But like I it's more like in the show it kind of works as like a
I think it represents just how much better he's getting, and like better he's getting at it. The way he's learning from her, and they're working together on this. It's a good way to indicate how much their relationship has developed, even though we've really only gotten one scene acknowledging their relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that you are attached to them so fast is kind of cool because we've only seen that one scene of them teaching each other, or her teaching him. I think, right? And then like Daenerys and her talking about it after, and
that's
like,
just a little bit of girl talk.
He admired her across the water and stuff. Yeah, there's a little more, but like they haven't done a lot, and I think
not much.
It's cool to see them so succinctly develop a couple that you really, really like. And yeah, man, I was close to going with Jacob Anderson for Grey Worm, and frankly, Natalie Emmanuel, I think is her name. I feel bad if I'm fucking that up, but both of them were so fucking good in this scene. Natalie Emmanuel for Missandei. Both their performances were outstanding. I went with someone a little later in a different location, but I loved this scene. They were so sweet to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kiss. We get a kiss.
Come
The first
on,
kiss.
yeah. Yep. I don't know. He was kind of still about it, and I guess maybe he's never had a kiss before. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably not. Yeah,
No, yeah,
that's
this is
his
his first
actual
kiss.
first kiss. Damn. Yeah.
Not just their first kiss, it is Grey Worm's first kiss.
Dang. That's nuts. Yeah. What a moment we got. Wow.
No,
Such a
that's
cute.
yep,
Doesn't
and
make
that's
up for
another
very.
one that just absolutely tears your soul to fucking shreds later. Missandei has potentially the nastiest death in this show. Not like literally on sight, but like just makes you like the way Daenerys feels about it makes you feel that way about it too. She makes that face to let you know like, oh shit's about to get bad. You know, like and it does the very next episode.
That's a Targaryen alone. What is it? What's the
The
verbiage?
Targaryen alone in the world is a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The love, man. She had love here. She had love in Essos. People loved her. They obviously hated her, but it's a cool thing that they continue to do to pursue like parallels between Jon and Daenerys without making it very obvious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jon,
It make
half
everyone
of your
happy.
people already hates you, and
Mm-hmm.
you know you gotta make your decisions anyway. You gotta do what you gotta do, and I love that. But later on, Daenerys asks Missandei whether they should reopen the fighting pits, and Missandei only says that she has seen Daenerys listening to her counselors when her own experience was lacking, and also ignoring them when she thought they were wrong. And Daenerys is like, "Oh, you my closest advisor now. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That was hard. That was
He
hard."
literally gave like the same advice that Maester Aemon gave. Was
Yeah.
like, I don't care what the subject is. I just know that you know that you're well thought enough, and you're the one that's gonna figure this out. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's I don't know. It was so awesome. Like just the parallels between this, and because I think you saw Eamon talk before this conversation
Yes, you
to
did. You did.
John. I think it cuts. So like you do see that. So that's I don't know. It's nice to just see. I don't know, any parallel between Danny and John is just awesome.
Very cool. Yeah, the auntie nephew pairing, but yeah, and I loved the whole moment leading up to it. It was one that kind of brought tears to my eyes, but it didn't make me cry. But like her asking Missandei for her advice, and the Missandei being like, "Oh, I should not."
I shouldn't even have an opinion on the matter or whatever.
And
And
Daenerys
she's
is like, "You fucking crazy, bro. You got
kidding
this.
me?
Come on now."
Mm-hmm.
But
They're just hyping
her
each other up.
advice, yeah, she's like, "You always think of something, you know, where there's an obstacle, you think of another way." And then it cuts to Daenerys going down to visit the imprisoned Hizdar Zolorak. And he's like, please, your grace, please do not do this. I didn't want to die a coward.
Yeah, what a switch up here. This dude thought he was going to be dragon food, and then now, like, he's coming out like, oh, damn. I'm
I also
getting
love that
exactly...
he expected that, like, if he ever saw Daenerys again, it meant his death.
Yeah. No, because he immediately started begging. She's like, what the fuck, dude? What was all that tough shit back there for? And he's like, well, I just didn't die a coward. You know,
there were other people there, man. I was embarrassed.
Respect for that, though. Like, to keep your composure in front of two dragons, like, you know, that's
that'd be the harder time to keep your composure.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he comes out of this thinking he was about to go die to getting exactly what he wanted whenever he showed up to, like, Daenerys in well, maybe not the first place, but a little bit. After a little acclimation period, they're like, yeah, we want the fighting pits back up. And what the fuck? And he's like, so he's getting that. And then also, it's like, oh yeah, you might marry me. You're welcome. And you'll just be the prince of Marine. You're welcome. But still, obviously, my child still, you know, like, I don't know, like, just you will not really, it won't mean
only
anything.
In name will you be my husband. I am going to make a cuck of you with
damn. I mean,
he couldn't have expected more than that. He didn't even expect that. So
no, yeah,
couldn't have expected shit really.
I guess she didn't say that it was going to be him. She just said like a master of a family,
a suitor.
and,
Yeah,
one is already a suitor's on their knees already. Whatever.
Kind of took that as her being like, "You're proposing to me." That's what's happening right this fucking second. Like I took it as her being like,
not even a thing in this universe,
No, but I think it's just kind of like there was another example of something in this episode where I was thinking like, is that how that even works here? But I can't even remember it. It was so small. But yeah, that was another thing where she's like, thankfully a suitor is already on his knees.
Yeah, he's. I don't know. I'd be okay with that. That confrontation, that's a win. That is like he won that conference. Like I don't know.
He absolutely did because she trusts him enough, or thinks he's too weak to be doing anything with the Sons of the Harpy. And I'm interested to know if he actually.
Like
he does work for the Sons of the Harpy, but I can't remember how long that's been going on, or if it's from the beginning, or if it's like he realizes their kind of goals align with his, so he seeks them out or something. Because I don't think he's like a founding member. He's not that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't come up with the Sons of the Harpy.
Yeah, no. I don't remember what happens at all there. I don't even really remember him being like working for both sides at all.
I don't really remember it either. I feel like I remember something when he was about to die, him saying like, "No, not me. I helped you," or something like that, and then the Sons of the Harpy kill him anyway.
Nice. Okay.
But yeah, he's pretty sure he's going to be Marine's, prince here soon.
All right with that.
Respect. But yeah, we'll then head to the Wall. Whereat Sam reads a note from Slaver's Bay to Maester Aemon, updating him on Daenerys' situation. He's like, she sounds like a strong woman. I love that there are only a few people that know Aemon's a Targaryen, so Sam and Jon get to kind of talk to him about things like this. And I love that Sam's like, she sounds cool, man. That's like your great niece, or your niece, or like it's just that's cool, she's doing some pretty cool shit out there. She wants to maintain Slaver's Bay and make sure slavery doesn't return. That's a lot more noble than coming right over here and taking the throne, like
I'm like fully against monarchs and everything like that and all. But like it'd be pretty fucking cool to like know the royal family. I don't know, just to be like, I don't know, like if you were living in that time and like that's the king fucking whoever. You're like, I don't know, that'd be kind of hype. But yeah, no, this is
now I'd be like kind of embarrassed to know fucking Charles or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I'd be like, fuck, I know
weird.
Charles.
That is still going on today, huh? I mean, I know they got like a little parliament thing on the side, or like if it.
Yeah, I mean, like they don't have any fucking power, which makes it even weirder that they still exist. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't do shit.
Yeah,
they're basically fucking influencers. But like they inherited that title.
Good way to put it. Yeah, there's
the only people that I would like to be friends with in the royal family are Harry and Meghan. That's it. Harry and Meghan Markle. That's it.
I don't know much about that family, but I know those.
They're like
two.
the only two I know, and that's because they dipped.
That's what I remembered. Yeah, that makes sense. I get the fuck out of there too. That'd be bad. Aemon did. Aemon was like,
I will go to the fucking Wall, dude.
He said, King? Fuck that.
I'm going to the Citadel.
Wall. I'm never having sex again. I'm claiming no lands, no name, nothing.
You got me fucked up if you think I'm going to sit on that throne.
You think Aemon, everyone else at Castle Black fucked around. They went.
Oh, Aemon never got his dick wet.
You don't think? You think he was that honorable?
I do.
I mean, he turned down King. So
that's why I'm like, if you turn down King, you're turning down some Vaj.
Damn. You don't think ever once he used the little like, hey, I'm actually Aemon Targaryen. I could have been king.
What's up with it?
What up? Like, I got king's blood. That's got to be like an instant. I don't know. That's like the equivalent of being 6'5".
Well, he's got the double dip thing going on because he's also a maester of the Citadel, and once you commit to the Citadel,
shit, that's true.
He went to the Citadel to learn, and then he went to the Night's Watch. So I think that, like, I don't know, the folks at the Citadel, they don't strike me as the type besides Samwell to fuck. It feels like they chose to go there. Usually the Night's Watch, that is not the case.
That's true. That's yeah. I was going to say, like, oh, he's double dipping, so it cancels out. 2 celibate oaths makes you be able to fuck again. So maybe, but I don't think Aemon thinks about it that way.
Nah. I think he's just beyond urge, He's like, you know what? I don't need sex.
Wow. Dude really was like, I'll just go read books for the rest of my life.
Kind of a pimp for that,
Yeah.
It's really fascinating to see just how much Aemon influences Jon, like it's
kill the boy,
like,
because doesn't he, like, I think he goes like in an episode or 2, right? Like, isn't it soon?
It's 2 episodes from now.
No.
And Jon's at the wall. Jon's beyond the wall by then. That was the last thing he ever said to Jon.
No.
But nevertheless, Sam praises Daenerys' courage, but Maester Aemon worries about his great niece's safety because she's all alone, under siege, with hardly anyone to guide her, with her last relation being useless and dying thousands of miles away. He says, Targaryens alone in the world are a terrible thing.
Boom.
And then, like, the snap cut to Jon slowly coming into picture.
I mean, it's kind of obvious. Like, it's not like a subtle transition to Jon.
No.
It's like, here's Jon Targaryen. Like, literally, I mean, it is like, you have no idea why, but fuck it. Here's Jon Snow entering the frame.
Well, and that's the other thing, too, is that, like, you gotta remember when you are watching the show for the first time, one of the things you cannot wait to happen is Daenerys and Jon meet. They are building to that. Like, even if it's not like even when there was no fucking shot, it seemed like, of them meeting or them falling in love, when I was watching the show, I was like, oh my god, could you imagine if Daenerys and Jon were together, dude? It seemed like the most obvious thing they were trying to push. So that cut from them talking about Daenerys to Jon entering screen almost feels like, it's getting closer together, like things are intersecting a little bit more. And, like, I don't know, man. It's just, I just, last night when I was watching this, it kind of, more than I have in a while, reminded me of watching this show for the first time, and just kind of the excitement that came with the progression of this season.
Yeah, you had no idea where things were going. And, like, you'd have guesses, and you'd be like, oh my god, this would be so cool if it happened. And then, like, that person dies next episode, uneventfully. Yeah. And then, like, it's crazy how the show goes for what you thought it was going to be. And, like, I was trying to think, like, this transition to Jon seems quite obvious. But, like, I remember while watching the first time, probably 80% of what people say goes right over my head. Like, it visually happens, and, like, big, like, when the music's when you're, like, supposed to listen, or, like, I don't know, there's some, I don't know, but, like, all this backstory and whatever, you kind of, like, filter out because you're like, okay, what's this person's name? I'm trying to remember everyone's name. By season 5, we're probably already there, but, like, even on first watch, maybe not. Like, there's so much to try to remember, like, while watching this for the first time that, I see why, like, it took me until this watch to finally see that shot on Jon and be like, oh, well, that's kind of obvious.
Yeah, no, they did it, and I was like, threw my hand in the air. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me! How did I not already know? But, like, of course I didn't already know. That's so far removed from the realm of possibility in your mind that it's not. Because, frankly, we've been given negative, no reason up to this point to believe anyone else is Jon's dad.
That's true. It's
At this
Ned
point,
and who's the mom.
and who's
It's
the
like,
mom?
yeah. It's literally like, yeah, who's the mom? Yeah, I didn't even think about that really. That people were like, oh, so who could the mom be to make him?
Robert
Yeah.
in the first episode alludes to some woman like that curvy waitress that you like whatever happened to her, and he's like, we don't talk about her. So like
I love
you're
that
like,
that's the
oh,
story
she's
Ned came up
truly
with.
she's truly a lowborn woman who Ned just got it on with that. So like, what's hilarious is that I remember watching I explained this early on, but I remember watching this show for the first time with Emily, and Emily watching it and being like, she like never forgave Ned for cheating on Catelyn.
Wow.
And and then
Damn.
whenever they reveal that he didn't, and like every time she'd comment on it, I just kind of be like, like I wouldn't say anything, but like I remember just being like, oh, you don't even fucking know, man. You don't appreciate Ned enough because one day you're gonna fucking miss this man. It's not even within the realm of possibility in your mind that he could be anyone else's because he's so much like Ned. There's so much that makes them similar that you go, that is Ned Stark's son. Like that is who that is. So it doesn't even enter your mind really that this dude could be someone else until they reveal it, and then you're like, oh my god, yeah, there's all sorts of evidence,
Yeah, like what? Yeah, it's not until you know that you start even looking into it in the first place.
It's really once they reveal that Lyanna had Jon, because they don't reveal who the father is at the same time. They just reveal that Lyanna gave birth to Jon, and Ned took him.
Yeah,
but then later on, it's like, wait, it was Rhaegar's, and they were formerly married.
Yeah, isn't the raping of Lyanna kind of believed, even by like Bran? Like, doesn't he hear like screams from the tower? But it's just her giving birth, and like we're thinking that it's like, like it's whatever, and like, okay, that's right, because like it isn't revealed all at once, because like it's the baby, when Ned is up there in the tower. And then he holds Jon, and it's like, Aegon, and then boom, fucking Jon. But that camera transition, that's
when it
like,
goes from the baby's face to kid's face, and you're like,
damn.
Oh, no, dude, I love it. I love it so much. This show, like, I adore it with all my fucking heart, and I have a feeling that while I think more than ever, once we get to season 7 and 8, I will notice a drop off in quality. Because of how much better a viewer I am at but I don't think my enjoyment will be diminished. I do think they do enough to justify the events. They just don't take the time enough to express them. Like that's all.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, it's rushed, but I'm gonna enjoy it while I got it.
Oh yeah, man, this show is just too good to not have fun with. But he needs Aemon's advice, Jon, when he enters the room. He's like, I've got a controversial take. I got a plan. I got something I need to do, but half of the castle's gonna hate me for it. And he's like, do it. Aemon's like, you fucking do that shit, man. And he's like, you don't even know what it is. He's like, doesn't matter. Half of them already hate you anyway. You go ahead and make that fucking order, okay? And he says that, Jon will not enjoy leading, but with luck, he may find the strength to do what needs to be done. Kill the boy, he says, and let the man be born.
There's the line of the episode. I love all, this rewatch, I've been paying particular attention to like the lessons that Jon receives from people. Mance, Mormont, Lord Commander Mormont, Ned,
Dad's brother, his uncle, Benjen.
Yeah, like it's just so cool to like see his like counsel, like because who he's gonna be, and like so it's like just little pieces of all these people, that build him up to eventually who he becomes, and I don't know, this moment's pretty sick. Like, come on, Jon, I'm about I think this is Aemon being like, all right, I'm about to be out of here. You're not going to have me at all, but you got to be on your own anyways. You're the Lord Commander, kind of like wake up, winter's coming. You know what's coming. You're the Lord Commander. Get into gear. Like, let's let's fucking go, Jon.
Jon just continues to become the man you love,
the coolest
you know?
fucking person of all time.
It was the next scene with him that I went, yep, Jon's my character. I went Jon Snow for my character this episode.
There's no doubt. There's just no doubt. Yeah. Like
when he sits down with Tormund. I think that we're halfway through season 5 and him and Tormund are not yet cool.
Yeah.
And this is like the first step towards that, you know? Like they're officially about to be down. And the way like we'll get to it, but Jon offers him a chance to forge an alliance, you know, he's like what's been going on for 8,000 years? He's like, man, what's different now? He's like, I'm the Lord Commander, bruh. That's what's fucking different now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, shit's about to change. I'm gonna make sure of it. And Tormund's like, I need you to go, or Jon goes, I need you to go north, rally the people, and bring them back. I'll open the gates for them. I'll give them land south of the wall they can settle. And in return, the wildlings will fight alongside the Night's Watch when the White Walkers arrive. And Tormund is obviously initially reluctant. And he's like, nah, I don't think I'm going to fucking do that. That's some bullshit. You're trying to deceive me. And Jon goes, you know what? Fuck you then. All right. I think you're a pussy.
Yeah.
I think you're a fucking coward.
Fucking puss. Coward boy. Yeah. What's up?
He's like, do something about it. Something about it, Tormund. And he's like, oh, big words to say to a man in chains. Jon looks him in the eye, unlocks the fucking chains. I was like, yep, that's him.
What's up now, Tormund? He's like, what's up now? Yeah, like, oh my god. Jon, he was already, like, fucking on.
And it's the way that Tormund, like, he's like in shock. He's like, are you a fucking insane person? You know, like, he's
dude was okay with dying multiple times. Like, he's been ready. And now he knows, he's like, he was just told, kill the boy. He did. You know, like, Jon is a fucking stone cold, just badass leader from here on out. And this episode, like, I was already focused on Jon and like where he's going, but this was just like, okay, there's no one else in the show that stacks up.
The fact that
this man,
like, he's obviously been on, like, I'd even argue he's still on that meteoric rise we were talking about last episode. You know, you watch him become the Lord Commander of the Wall. You watch him, you know, take his first head and stuff like that, and you're like, okay, yeah, this man is commanding. But now we take this step where he is now instituting change via his position of power.
Yeah.
Not only that, but this agreement that Tormund and Jon come to. The idea that what happens in season 5, really, you know, like, because he was with the wildlings, then he defends the wall, and you kind of see him, he takes control of the wall during the fight against the wildlings, and you're like, oh yeah, this guy's him. He's on his way. But now it's different. Like, he is in that position, and he is still climbing in your eyes, and that's awesome.
First man in 8,000 years to be like, maybe we do let the humans live and not
for 8,000 years. We've been
the White Walkers.
You know, we've vowed to protect the realms of what, gods and men.
Something like that. Yeah. It's like what's different? You know, what's different now, dude? Jon's like, I'm here.
And he's the line to say, like, you know, and for 8,000 years we've been failing. You know, like, y'all are a part of the realms of gods and men. Y'all are men. Come on down. Let's do this shit. You know,
like, it wasn't until he mentioned the, like, women, children, and the sick. He's like, so what for them? You know, the people who can't fight, what for them? And Tormund was like, oh shit. He's like, oh damn, kind of got me there. Like, yeah, I understand.
And I love that literally everything Jon does for another 3 seasons after this point, the argument that he makes here in a moment is the exact fucking same argument he makes in season 7, like, and in the beginning of season 8, just kind of going, hey man, if you don't want to fight with us, you will be added to an army of the dead. If you don't want to ally with them, they will be added to the army of the dead. If believe me, if y'all don't join the fight against them, you will be a part of the army of the dead. And that's all he has to say. That's all he wants to say for the next 3 fucking seasons. This is his entire fucking thing.
Yeah,
of course, the Battle of the Bastards and stuff, he gets to focus on some other shit for a little bit. But it's the only thing. It's the only fight that matters. The war is coming.
Winter is
Great
coming,
war.
man. Yeah, winter's on its way.
And we know what comes with it.
Yeah, we
as
do.
he says.
Mention
That
of
was hard.
Hardhome. Yeah, he's like, where have all of them gone? He's like, Hardhome. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that happens.
We're only 2 episodes away. We get 1 episode, the next episode, and it's the episode after that.
Oh, shit.
You're right there. But yeah, this whole thing where Tormund's like, yeah, I'll go, but you're coming with me.
Yeah.
And John's like, I can't fucking go with you. He's like, no, I need my people to know that they're not getting on ships that are just going to get set ablaze the moment they're on them. We need to go together. And you're the only person they'll trust. And John's like, let's fucking do this shit then. I'm gonna get ships from Stannis. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna roll. We got this shit then. And this is the moment Tormund begins to kind of like, okay, this boy ain't.
I like this lead. Yeah, and I think he likes the idea of leading people too. He kind of was the natural leader in like his group already.
A little bit, yeah.
Or like he had the attention of everybody. He wasn't maybe calling shots and doing whatever, but like he is a natural.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know, it is nice to see him like maybe for the first time ever be like, yeah, fuck, like stood up face to face, like with some, like, I don't know who stands up to Tormund. Like, dude's a half giant.
Yeah.
Like he just crushes everything.
Giant's bane.
Yeah, like he just crushes it. Yeah, dude just crushes, and John's like, I'll take your cuffs off right now. I'm right here. What's up? God, yeah, I don't know. You got to respect John.
No, you do. At this point, you do. But, yeah, next up, the men of the Night's Watch do not take the news of an alliance well. Citing, the only reason they'd be offered that land is because they drove people from that land off and killed them, including this young boy's family. Point to Ollie, the son of a bitch.
That's what I wish the title of the episode was for.
Kill the boy.
That boy.
Kill that boy, please.
God.
But even Dolores said, him standing up, he goes, I will follow you anywhere. You know that. But this is rough. They killed Gren and Pip. You say the word, I'm down. But I need you to know why I don't fuck with them, and I will not forgive and forget. And nevertheless, John's like, yep, I get it. I fucking get it. But we've killed them too. They've killed ours, we've killed theirs. And you know what? If we don't do something now, their numbers will join the army of the dead. You were at the Fist of the First Men. What happened there? And I love another great detail is Stannis and Davos being back there like, John is fairly certain there's an army of the dead, huh? They don't fucking know that, and there's no reason for them to have until they got here. I know Melisandre has a little bit of a thing going on where she might have been able to tell them about it, but
how do they know about the resurrection? Because isn't that done for the first time at Hardhome? Or he just... Because does he say, like, you will be... Like, when the Night King, like, reanimates after they're dead. Like, you will be added. Is it just saying that you'll be added to the death toll? Or, like...
No, you will be added... he watched somebody wake up.
in Castle Black.
Yeah, in Castle Black.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched that happen.
I thought there was some... Like, because I'm like, wait, the Night King hasn't, like... risen.
I don't think he knows exactly how it happens. He just knows it does.
Yeah. Okay. That's right.
And within the next few episodes, he knows how.
That's true. Very clearly shown.
Yes.
Coming up. But Yeah, I mean, the math is pretty simple now. It's like, you either join us or you die, and then you'll fight us anyways.
Yeah.
Not in your not your brain, though. Like,
dude. Yeah, no, it's gnarly. But, yeah, he's like, good luck with that. So, we're going to do this anyway. Sorry, guys. And then, in the library, Sam tells Gilly about his wish to go to the Citadel and become a maester before he was sent to the Night's Watch. And that's when Stannis walks in. Stannis walks in and goes, "You're Samwell Tarly." He's like, yeah. Son of Randall Tarly. Yeah. Oh, you poor fucking bastard, basically. He's like, Robert lost his only battle to your dad.
Only battle. Yeah. That's kind of huge.
Yeah. And Stannis wants to know, he's like, and you killed the White Walker. He's like, yep, that's me.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we did it with a dagger made of dragon glass. And he's like, dragon glass is obsidian. And Stannis is like, yes, I know what dragon glass is. We have it on Dragonstone. This is a very funny and inconvenient plot hole. Later on in the show, whenever they are doing everything they can to find dragon glass, Sam does not recall this conversation.
Ooh.
Sam is not the kind to forget a detail like this.
It wasn't read in a book. Maybe if you read it in a book, he would have known, and he never forgets anything he reads.
True. But yeah, they do eventually go to Dragonstone, but it's because they find a map with like evidence of dragon. Like, and it's like this. A lot of that could have been avoided if Sam was like, "Oh, Stannis once told me that there's a bunch of dragon glass on Dragonstone."
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but, I mean that's a pretty important piece of information there.
It's the only way they know how to kill White Walkers. That's something Sam should have immediately made note of and gone, well, if we ever need it.
Yeah.
We'll go to fucking Dragonstone.
Or be like,
so I don't blame Sam for that.
Yeah.
I blame D&D because Brian Cogman wrote this episode. He is not at fault. D&D didn't write these words. They don't fucking know that Stannis said this. I mean, they probably should have, but clearly they don't.
Yeah. Didn't think about that, but yeah, that would have been useful information.
It would have. Yeah, Stannis straight up says it. He's like, "Yeah, we have dragon glass on Dragonstone." I think he even says there are mountains of it.
Oh, it's in abundance when they get there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
How would it not just be known that I don't know.
Where the fuck did they get dragon glass then, guys? It just appeared one day. Not like...
Well, the Children of the Forest hunted with it. So maybe people just thought that it was like some...
ancient...
magical... it wasn't just the dragon glass, but maybe there's some magic to it, too. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, regardless, it's a damn shame. It's crazy watching this show for several seasons now. I wish Stannis had a fucking walk to the throne at this point.
Yeah. I know. Shit would have been figured out a lot sooner.
This show would not be as exciting if Stannis was king.
That's true. It would just be White Walkers versus the realm.
Yep. He'd be like, well, I'm king now. Got some big news. There's some stuff going on up there. We need to worry about it. Let's go and tend to it. And that's that. That's that, until Dany comes along, and then I want Dany to be... I feel like everything could have happened just so much smoother if Stannis was the king. I don't think he'd necessarily be a good king, but he'd worry about the right shit. You know what I'm saying?
He has the right information.
Yeah,
every other current prospect, he's the only one that actually knows of the true threat.
Yeah.
And its actual, severity. So it's who you, whether you agree with him the most or not, probably, I don't know, just kind of following, just lighting people ablaze and stuff and all, but, I don't know. Yeah, I guess, so he's going, oh, that's right, he's going to Winterfell, and that's when he goes. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't even make it past Winterfell. Oof.
Nope, that's there.
Oof.
But yeah, later on, Stannis tells Davos that they will need to march toward Winterfell the next morning. And Davos suggests waiting until Jon returns with the wildlings. You know, the wildlings might bring men that we could use. And Stannis is like, they will not join us anyway, so we might as well just get a fucking move on. And he also wants to take Selyse and Shireen with them. Gotta know why, you know.
That's not good. Yeah. Had to have them with them.
Yep, surrounded by, you know, they're safer on the road than they are with these rapists and criminals, and that's a good rationale. But
that is fair. Yeah, is fair. But
you know, that's not the entire reason. But
do you
yeah,
know? Does Stannis know like soon. Now? Like right now, does he know? Like he knows like that's why she's along with the trip. Like that's why that she's even brought.
No. I don't think so. I think he knows. He has to know in the back of his mind that this is something Melisandre will take there at some point. You know, they've made a huge emphasis on the king's blood and their family blood and everything.
Yeah.
He's got to at least know in the back of his mind that this is something Melisandre at some point will say needs to happen. But yeah, then they take off. The next morning, Stannis' army with Stannis and Melisandre at its head. And they make the journey to Winterfell. But I forgot that like Melisandre and Davos go. You know? Davos did go, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's just cool to me that when they lose that battle, Melisandre and Davos retreat to, like, they come back to Castle Black. Because that's how Davos and Melisandre reanimate Jon Snow.
Yeah. He has to be brought back to life somehow. That's for sure.
No, I just love the idea that they were like, well, we're safe at the wall. Jon fucks with us. So, like, yeah. I just thought that was a cool little detail. But, yeah, then we're heading to the north, where Brienne of Tarth and Podrick Payne, still pursuing Sansa Stark, arrive at an inn near Winterfell, and Podrick suggests that Sansa may be better off at Winterfell now, that she's far away from the Lannisters. I love that every chance he gets, he's like, we could stop.
We could leave.
Yeah, we could leave. And Brienne always makes a really good point, and he's like, yeah, fair. Yeah, that's cool. But Brienne, you know, believes that Sansa will not be safe around the people who murdered her mother and brother. And their conversation is interrupted by a servant. And she looks at him for a while. She's like, this is an old ass motherfucker. Hey, how long you lived here? Well, my whole life. You knew Eddard and his father before him. She's like, yeah, I swore to serve Catelyn before she died. I want to protect that. I need to get a message to. I know who's living in that castle. You know, he's like, everyone knows and she's like, I'm not talking about the Boltons. And he's like, oh, okay. She's like, I need to get a message to her. The old servant is like, you know, he kind of like straightens up and he's like, oh, we back. We so back.
The North remembers, you know.
Yeah.
The North remembers. Yeah, that dude was like, I'm doing my duty now.
Well,
you know,
it's just the idea that like I get chills thinking about this, and we'll get back to it here in a little bit. But the idea that like there's not a single person in Winterfell loyal to the Boltons, like of the people, the citizens, they're just like they're waiting for a chance to, you know, take the shit back. But
everyone hates them. Yeah,
everyone hates them.
Yeah, is there anyone from like where do they have like their own land and castle? Is it just the like high lords of the Bolton family that are there? No, like actual citizens of.
No, I don't think
just
so.
Be the soldiers and like the army that they have.
Yeah, and the servants.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, everyone there is just hating life right now.
Yeah.
Like, nice that they get to live at Winterfell, but like, oof.
Yeah, still. But yeah, in Winterfell, Ramsay Bolton and his bedwarmer Miranda discuss Ramsay's upcoming marriage to Sansa. And Miranda admits her jealousy of Sansa, especially since Ramsay had promised to marry Miranda back when he was a bastard. And Ramsay disregards Miranda's insecurities, causing, being like, I don't like jealousy. You know what happens to people I don't like. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. And then,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's got someone here who will bite back. Miranda and him are birds of a feather. They kind of belong together. And she's like, you know what, maybe I'll get married too. And Ramsay's like, bruh, who you gonna fucking marry? You're gonna marry the fucking, the
Damn.
stableman's father, or the stableman's son, or whatever. Violently pushes her against the wall and stuff. You are mine, and you're not going anywhere. And further, she is, she's starting to bore him with her jealousy. She knows what happens to people who bore him. And hearing this, Miranda swears to bore him again after kissing him and biting the shit out of his lip. Instant blood.
Ramsay about it though. Ramsay was like, all right. At first, he was thinking like, I'm gonna kill this bitch.
And then he's like, wait, that was kind of hot.
All right, I can get behind it.
He said, now, literally, I can get behind that.
That's true. They did indeed start having sex right then and there.
Yeah, right then and there. But all the while, Sansa's maid carries the message from Brienne to her, consoling Sansa that she still has allies in the north. The old woman tells her to light a candle in the highest window of the broken tower if she ever needs help. This scene brought like a tear to my eye, because whenever she goes, the north remembers, and Sansa she kind of has this moment of realization, and then she says, "You're not alone." I was like, "Oh fuck yeah!" I just got so
moment.
fucking happy, man.
It's a good moment.
No, Sophie Turner gets my performance for the episode.
She did well. She
did
very, well.
Very good. And part of it was this moment, and there's a little bit more later on. But Sansa wanders around the castle inspecting this tower, and this tower is where Jaime pushed Bran out of the window, by the way. She's approached by Miranda.
Yeah.
Putting on,
hey,
she's just the girl next door.
Pretty dress. Oh,
the stitching is so fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Seeming nice though. That's the thing, is that Sansa has no clue at all.
No idea what
who
she's
this girl is.
Actually.
She's actually kind of being sweet here. Like saying like, oh man, like I forgot what was said, but like maybe something nice about her mom, or like, oh yeah. Like, she's like, where'd you learn to do this?
Yeah.
And like, oh, my mother. She's like, oh, well, now every time you wear this, like your mother will live on through it. And like, wow. I was like, and Sansa's just like not having it at all. She's just like, what the fuck? I guess like fair enough. Who should she trust? Yeah. So.
But yeah, whenever Miranda's like, come with me. And there's that's when we get that moment of like the hinge creaking, and it sounds like a horror, like pew! It's really cool.
Go down that hallway, end of the hall. You'll find a special surprise.
Yeah, you'll love what's down there. Dun, dun, dun. That's basically what they might as well have done. But that's where she finds Reek, and she goes, Theon. And he's like, no, that's not me. I'm not Theon. No, don't call me Theon. Please don't call me Theon. But yeah, that's he's awoken by Sansa's arrival, and he warns her that she shouldn't be down there. And seeing Reek in such a pitiful condition, Sansa angrily storms away. And that's
a lot of conflicting.
Yeah,
like Sansa still thinks that Bran and Rickon are dead because of him. So that's kind of a no-no.
Indeed.
And then, is that all? Didn't he, like, betray... Well, I guess, like...
By doing that, he betrayed Robb and took Winterfell. And...
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so... Yeah, no, not much redeeming that can be done for Theon right now.
No, not in the eyes of Sansa, even though they do grow to have a very, very cool relationship. as he's the one. She's what brings him out of his funk, and he's what saves her from Ramsay. You know, they jump out of the castle together, and he breaks his leg.
That's
and stuff.
right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But
Okay.
as Reek helps Ramsay get ready for dinner, he confesses that earlier that day Sansa saw him in his cage, and Ramsay, for his own amusement, makes it seem as though he's going to punish Reek. Get on your knees. Take my hand.
Yeah, it was very weird at first.
Yeah,
it was like just a very awkward tension in there. I'm like, what are you gonna ask him to do here?
What are you gonna ask him to do on your knees, Ramsay?
Wait a minute.
What's going on here?
And then hand, and I'm like, okay.
Then he just places his hand on top of his, and I forgive you.
He's so unpredictable, you know?
And that's what makes him so fucking scary.
You never, what's the saying? Like, you always got to keep him guessing. You gotta never let him know your next move. You know? He's, I don't know, just a psychological warfare.
I almost went with, again, another actor I almost went with was Alfie Allen. He does really good here as Reek. It's been a while since Alfie Allen's got to perform a little bit. You know, he's just mostly been kind of there. And he was kind of the focus of multiple interactions in this episode, so it was nice to see Alfie Allen get to like perform again. But at dinner, Ramsay is initially well behaved, toasting his wedding to Sansa, but is soon back to his old ways as he forces Reek to come in and apologize to Sansa for murdering her brothers Bran and Rickon, which, with much difficulty, Reek finally mutters an apology. Ramsay's like, look her in the eyes. I'm sorry. And he's like, good. Gosh, the tension was just so intense in here, was it not? Whew. Okay. But
Bruce even like getting jump scared by it too. We didn't Bruce, like someone got actually scared by that, or like startled by his like little good, and like I don't know, it kind of. That might have been the scariest moment in the episode. It was just Ramsay just doing Ramsay thing.
Well, and then him being like, well, since your brother is dead, and your mother is dead, and your father is dead, Reek's kind of the last closest thing you have to family. He'll give you away at the wedding. It'll be perfect. And Sansa is getting a glimpse of yet another sick fuck she is betrothed to.
Not even a little grace period. Like, you know, like,
no.
I guess literally when they met, he was like, okay. But yeah, first dinner. God damn it.
Yeah.
Like, dude's just, I guess they've been there for a little bit. I don't know.
Regardless. She's never taken kindly to the Boltons. And therein, I think Ramsay has felt no need to disguise who he is. He's like, you don't like me anyway, so I'm not even gonna play.
He's smart
with
enough
you.
to know.
Yeah,
that's true.
But Roose is like, all right, well, since we're all here, family and stuff, I wanted to let you know that Walda here, she's gonna have a baby. Maester Lewin says it looks like it's gonna be a boy. Or not Lewin. What's the new Maester's name? Maester. Fucking Wolken.
Wow, I would have never gotten that.
Yep, I got there. Maester Wolken. He's like, yep, looks like it's going to be a boy. And Ramsay is very clearly immediately not happy, and Sansa is very immediately happy.
Glad she's getting a performance nod, like, from you, like, for this scene too, like having to like cry and be like, oh my god, like my dead family, back to like, all right, getting a taste of your own medicine, you piece of shit.
A little, and again, just one of those little like, it feels like she learned a lot of the way that she responds to things from Cersei, like very Lena Headey-esque moment from her here.
For sure.
But,
little smirk, little little silent laugh.
Yeah. But
the silence was loud.
Yes, it
there
was.
for
I loved
for
it.
Ramsay.
I loved Sophie Turner in this episode. But after dinner, Ramsay is like, I saw what's going on with the baby here? What's this gonna mean? And Roose is like, oh yeah, you made a fucking fool of yourself earlier tonight. So I just wanted to make you a fool further. Don't you fucking worry. You know, things will be okay. He then shares the story of Ramsay's birth. And we get the information that while we felt Roose is a villain, we didn't realize that he was an absolute sick fuck the same way that Ramsay is.
He kind of just says it like nonchalantly, like what happened here, and I'm like, hold on a minute. I'm like, wait a minute, did he just say that? I'm like,
Miller's wife, married without his consent. I hanged her husband and I fucked her under his body. And 9 months later, a year later, she popped up here with you, claiming you were mine. And I saw then what I see now, that you are my son. What a weird, this is a sweet moment for them.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. Yeah, because Ramsay is actually taken back, and he almost, actually fucking cries. He's like, that's the most beautiful thing my dad could have ever said to me.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, on a euphoric rise from a rape that he did after showing his, the person he's raping, their dead loved one hanging right there at a tree.
My God. What a disgusting fucking man.
That's insane.
Terrible, terrible fucking person. But
I guess it makes sense. Ramsay's,
Yeah, no, and that's he's like, the more I learn about you, buddy, the more I realize you're definitely mine. That's
you fit
what
that puzzle piece pretty well.
Yeah.
She's not lying when she says it was Roose's, that's
that is
no
his
DNA
son.
Test needed.
Nope. They are birds of a feather.
He is the father.
Yeah. But he's like, but yeah, so since you are my son, you are definitely going to lead the army against Stannis here before long. He plans to take the Iron Throne. He'll have to pass through here. So he's going to have to take the North. And I want your help in defeating Stannis. Ramsay agrees. But then we top off the episode in Old Valyria, wherein as Jorah and Tyrion continue their journey to Meereen, and following Jorah's violent reaction to a previous conversation, Tyrion tries to civilize their relationship and asks where they are. And as Jorah stands up to look at the foggy ruins on the horizon, Tyrion deduces that they are going to pass through the remains of Old Valyria. They say the doom still rules Old Valyria. You aren't afraid of the doom?
Everyone knows this poem, I guess,
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's kind of like a Freddy. What's his name? Friday the 13th? Krueger. There it is. I don't know, just like a boogeyman, just like a story that everyone knows, or I don't know, just like an old legend. But it's crazy. I had an epiphany. A thing that I can't believe I have not noticed before. We have stone men. We have White Walkers. We have children of the forest. And we have, I was trying to think of a fire one. Because, it feels like you got, I guess drag. Oh, thank you. I was thinking about drag.
That was not where you were going?
No, Elle, that's really funny. I went to, Melisandre. Not Melisandre, yeah, Melisandre and, the shadow.
Okay, that makes sense, too. Lord of Light and stuff, yeah.
Whatever. But, it's very elemental. I don't know, there's one of, kind of everyone.
Water,
and the
earth,
only normal-ish group out of them are the children of the forest, the earth. But, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe Valyria, it looks like this. But these stone men, they are scary, and they scare away everyone at their borders. But it's like an oasis. And, no one goes in because it's so fucking scary. Kind of like in The Last of Us, where people are we kill people around the border, but it is like this paradise kind of on the inside. And it's maybe the Stonemen just got it cooked. They're in Old Valyria, Tyrion's talking it up, this used to be the shit. Like this,
The greatest civilization. It will be hundreds. How many hundreds of years will it be before we build cities like this?
thousands. He says thousands. He's like, no one does this shit anymore. Like that's nuts. It's the grayscale that wiped him out, or was it Aegon and like a some? No,
They came from Valyria.
yeah. So he left, and like, was it being attacked or something?
That's
while
what's
he
so fucking interesting. I have no idea what the Doom of Valyria actually is.
left?
The way Tyrion describes it is like fire shooting hundreds of meters into the air.
Yeah, that even dragons.
Even dragons couldn't survive.
That's
So
some
it's like
that's some Lord of Light shit there.
right.
I don't know. Aren't we getting that? Weren't we supposed to get like a show that went all the way back to Valyria?
Yeah,
or was that like maybe what House of the Dragon was?
There's like an Aegon's Conquering
idea
that's been in the works forever, which I assume would take us back to Valyria. But
damn. Yeah, what happened there? Whoa. Okay, yeah, because I mean that, like, they just passed through like a bridge or something. I don't know, like a fucked up, just old ass bridge. Like what that city would actually have looked like at full peak. I don't know. That is
gnarly.
nuts. Yeah, and the fact that it's like it's been like destroyed for how long? Like
hundreds of years.
Damn. That's crazy. Yeah. Just all that knowledge lost. Valyrian steel.
Now, let's see this.
Gone.
I'm going ahead to look into the Doom of Valyria real quick.
Yeah, because I mean the Valyrians, they had maybe it was like a self-destruct. Maybe it was like a nuke moment. Like they had their Manhattan Project and they figured out they could do some shit with wildfire or something. And then they accidentally just set the whole city ablaze. Probably.
Yeah.
But the exact cause of the Doom of Valyria remains unknown. Some believe it was the volcanic eruption or a natural disaster, while others inadvertently triggered by the Valyrians' own sorcery. Ooh, maybe, or like a fucking comet just landed, just hit. But I guess it's probably more of a crater would have been found.
Yeah, no, like I love the way this is described here, an event that came to be known only as the Doom laid waste to the Valyrians, their capital city, and its surrounding lands. The peninsula itself was shattered, becoming what is now the Smoking Sea. Every dragon was thought to be lost, as were the Valyrian spells, knowledge, and recorded history.
Damn. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm a huge nerd about that stuff. Like our ancient, real life civilizations, like the Egyptians and Sumerians, like all that stuff, like how, maybe the pyramids were part of this gigantic civilization. Like, I mean, to build them, that's just insane. But I don't know, there's new stuff coming out that all of Africa was flooded completely, floods that we can't, fires as big as this in Valyria, but floods going across the entire Sahara. So you could have just wiped out everything, and just the biggest pyramids were left because, nothing else will stay. And we think that they're 4,000 years old. We think they're 4,000, but if this is true, they could be over 10,000, 12,000 years old. And it could push back the story, I don't know, the story that we have of history could be very altered. And this episode reminded me of it. It was kind of the inverse. An old city being destroyed by a fire instead of by a massive flood or something like that. But
no, yeah, I'm looking into it more. According to the novels, the Doom occurred in exactly the year 114 before the Conquering. 114 years before Aegon conquered. 112 years before that, the Targaryen. 112 years before the Targaryen conquest began. 12 years before the Doom in 126 BC. I'm trying to comprehend this. Okay, the conquest of Westeros began in 2 BC. And that's 112 years prior to that. 12 years before the Doom, in 126 BC, Aenar Targaryen relocated his entire household to Dragonstone.
Oh,
So the
homie was getting out.
the
He was like-
conquering, the conquering that Aegon did was based from Dragonstone, which is interesting.
Okay, that dude knew something was coming. Then maybe
Seems like it. Seems like
Might-
it. It was 12 years before, so.
Yeah, I mean, a song of fire and
Aenar,
ice.
oh yeah, Aenar was encouraged to flee Valyria by the prophetic dreams of his daughter, which warned of the coming disaster. Along with them, the Targaryens took 5 dragons, who became the only dragons to survive the Doom. Balerion was one of them, but the other 4 later died through unrevealed circumstances. They did leave eggs behind, and those became Vagar and Meraxes.
Maybe this is why, like, Targaryens actually have some different shit about them. Like, they're actually, like, Valyria has just something's going on, like, in Valyria. Like, I don't know, like, it's so diluted now, like, maybe, like, with Daenerys.
This is fascinating.
Huh.
Yeah,
I never looked into this.
George R.R. Martin says that it was inspired by the destruction of Pompeii by Mount Vesuvius.
Okay.
And that Valyria is loosely analogous to the Roman Republic
and like
in his fantasy world.
Like,
and it is also partially inspired by myths of the fall of Atlantis. So, like, just
like, kind of a wild, like, I don't know. Yeah, the rabbit hole in, like, our own civilization. Like, I'm way too deep in that rabbit hole right now. It's nuts. Like, there's a trend going on right now, like just on TikTok, I guess. But it's like how, like, girlfriends asking their boyfriends, like, how often do you think of the Roman Empire? It's just like, how often is this a thought in your mind? And, like, I am not shitting you when I say I think about the Egyptians and, like, ancient civilizations every single fucking day. Like, there is not a day that goes by that, like, something small doesn't remind me of, like, oh my god, that could have been how it fucking went down. Like, I'm constantly trying to figure out what happened 10,000 years ago for whatever the fuck, like, or like, yeah, I don't know, but it's like, it's something that doesn't leave my head ever.
You gotta get into some anthropology and archaeology there, huh?
I know, man.
Sounds like it.
Maybe like that'd be a sick ass job. Try to Indiana Jones it to the max. Like, just like look for treasure. Just go straight for the gold. Straight for Atlantis.
Like I took an archaeology course when I was in college. I fucking loved it. Like, I could absolutely see that being something that I would have eventually pursued if I hadn't got horribly depressed while I was at college. But it's like, you know what? Maybe I dropped that.
Yeah.
Maybe I dropped that. Come back to it later. But yeah, as they catch glimpses of domes, towers, and aqueducts, Tyrion recites a poem about the Doom, and Jorah joins in at the ending. And suddenly, through the fog, they see Drogon fly into view. And this is I love people seeing dragons for the first time. That's always a very, very cool thing. And Tyrion's kind of the first person we get to see who's important. Seeing it, and
he's seen the big boy too.
Yeah,
like he got the IMAX viewing of First Dragon because, like, it would be crazy to see, like, the 3 babies. Like, it still would be crazy to see that because, like, you're oh my fucking god, they're alive again.
And he's got the full fucking thing going here
in old Valyria too, dude. It literally had the 70 millimeter IMAX. Like, he was in the full. Like, full setting, everything.
That was 4X. That was 4D right there.
yeah, that's right. There you go.
But, I loved just because the lore surrounding Tyrion as well. That he grew up obsessed with dragons and he thought about them all the time. And he wanted a dragon so bad, but he was told he couldn't have one because they died. Like, all that stuff for him to finally see a dragon for the first time in his life. And even Jorah, I love the flash to Jorah. Jorah has seen these dragons
Yeah.
Jorah knows these dragons. That dragon flies overhead and he is still struck silent. Like, oh my God, those things are fucking beautiful. You know, like, I just absolutely loved that detail. And it sucks that it turns right into a horror movie as the stone men jump into the water and begin to try to attack them.
Yeah, like just the one that jumps into the water and like
Yeah.
doesn't, like, that's it. They're like, wait, what the fuck was that?
What was
They're like,
that?
"What?"
Yeah.
And then there's this dude standing up, just at the ready. Like, I don't know.
Freaky shit.
Maybe they're not all crazy, you know? Maybe it's just the border protection, you know?
And what's crazy is you think what it seemed to have been implied by like Stannis when they were talking about like sending Shireen off.
Mm-hmm.
Spend the rest of her short life.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Do
they
these
know?
motherfuckers die?
Yeah,
You
like,
know,
do
like,
they know that this is like their full...
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, if they stay home, they definitely just kill them. Like, when they start acting like this, you just kill them. So no one knows that they just stay like that.
Yeah, they just live like that. I think they assume
Maybe
that
they don't die.
Yeah,
Maybe
like,
it's
do
like
they
a
just
White Walker.
Yeah,
like
do they just live forever like
sort of
this?
thing. Whoa. I think
yeah.
there's more to this Game of Thrones universe than we think. I
No,
think George,
magically, yeah.
yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know if he'll ever go there. Maybe this last book, it rings it all together. And there's like,
I don't think it would be during this story, but like, he's told a bunch of other stories within the universe that I need to dig more into outside of the main continuity here.
Because it would be kind of nuts to be like, oh, you thought like the one big threat was just the winter, you know, and the Night King coming down. But then also we have these stone men that are building up their army as well, and they can do all this shit. We have these fire people. The children of the forest were just thinking, you know, you thought that they were good and helping you, and there were only a couple. Oh, psych! They live in the wall. The whole wall is full of them, and you know, I don't know, some shit like George could. I don't know. I don't know. It's not coming out anytime soon, so I'm not worried about it. But
regardless, it'll be interesting to learn more about this universe one day. But just before the stone men are able to grab him, Tyrion rolls off the boat, jumps into the water, where he is then pulled down by more stone men under the water. This dude was just in the fucking water down there and was like, "Yep, come here, bring that here, boy."
That's the one that jumped in right away.
Yeah, he was just waiting.
He knew. That's how smart they are. We got to give them more credit. Yeah, these guys know what they're doing. These guys know what they're doing. I don't know how the fuck Jorah got him out of the situation, but hey, I'm glad. Glad it happened. Because that's a sticky situation. First watch, you're like, oh shit. You're like,
it's like you don't know exactly what the whole they touch you extent of that is. Like, it's like skin to skin contact. They touch you at all. Like, I'm worried about Tyrion getting pulled down. Like, this dude's fucked. You know, what are the odds that he didn't get fucking touched here? But
and
undetermined.
I'd say this is, sadly, I think this is like the weakest critically part of the episode. I think it's actiony and it's fun and like the moment is good, but just the editing of it was kind of like, it was very fast and very spliced together, and like I don't know, the angle was like very different a lot of the times. Like, and I guess it could be like the sporadic nature of the moment, and like it is going crazy.
Still, I just prefer concise editing. Like, I agree with you completely. Whenever it's so choppy that I can't even really see what's going on half the time, that's not But Tyrion wakes up later to find himself on a shore, dragged out of the water by Jorah. And after confirming to each other that they had not been touched by the stone men, Jorah tells Tyrion that he hopes to find a fishing village and get a boat soon. Again, the visuals here, fucking ridiculous.
Oh my god!
Like the water in front of and behind them where you can see their reflections, and just like golden hour as fuck. The light's gonna be magic soon. Reminds me of that dude in Nope. Who just has to get the money shot. The light's magic soon. I love
his voice. Is so good. That voice
dude.
is
flying purple people eater. that whole thing, dude. I love that guy.
But
Jorah, the light was magic.
Out.
This was a cinematographer's fucking dream right here.
Yeah. This was nice. and then you have like the shot of Jorah looking to Valyria, and then like him being, knowing now, he's like, oh, that's where I'm gonna
That's
go
where I'm
now.
heading.
Like that. This
There's
shit
home.
is not curable. Like that's it. He get cured though? Like,
Yep.
isn't that like part of his storyline? They go to the Citadel, and
Samwell
is that
cures
where
him.
it's done? At the Citadel?
Yeah, Samwell does it.
Damn. Old Town?
Yep.
Is that in Essos?
Old Town is in the heart of Westeros.
Goes. Oh yes, duh. Fuck. I'm like because Sam's in Westeros. I'm like,
Yeah.
the fuck does Sam get over to Essos? I'm like, what? That
I'm
doesn't
pretty
make
sure
any
Old
sense.
Town is the ancestral home of the Hightowers.
Hightowers, yes, that's what I remembered. Whenever I heard it, I'm like, ooh, little Hightower, like call. I don't know, callback. It's not really a callback at all. Did they even exist in the show until House of the Dragon?
They ever acknowledge a Hightower. It'll be interesting if they ever do, but
yeah, how does Jorah get back? Does he just go back? He just sails back to Westeros, or is he with people whenever he goes back?
I can't remember how he manages to go across the sea because, yeah, I don't remember what happens. I think it's like I think whenever Dany tells him to like get cured, like we don't see him again until Sam's in the Citadel. Like we don't even really know how he got there. It's just kind of like he pops up in the Citadel, like he's trying to be cured.
Okay. Yeah.
But
I'm looking at just his whole timeline. Yeah. Wow. Jorah has traveled to season 7. He's in Old Town looking for a cure. The season 6. Yeah, he bows before Khaleesi. He shows Daenerys his grayscale, and then boom, season 7, he's in Old Town. Okay.
Yep.
So just kind of happened. Oh man, it gets so bad. Oh, I'm just like,
it covers his entire fucking arm and shoulder.
Yeah, his chest too, like whole.
Yeah, it's nasty too. Whenever Sam like peels it off.
Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh. Disgusting. I'm pretty sure there's also like transition from him like I'll never forget it because it makes me want to fucking vomit. Where he's like about to dig into his skin to start cutting, and it cuts to someone sticking like a fork. Oh, I think it's when Walder is eating his kids. It cuts to him sticking a fork into a like pie. And
That's
it's like,
awesome.
Ugh, this is disgusting.
That's awesome though. That's like it is vulgar and it is just actually disgusting. But
why would you not fucking do that? It's fucking genius. What an inspired touch.
Wow, someone's sick. Someone's sick as fuck was like, oh, this is gonna get him. This is yeah. Oh, people who make this show.
The episode ends with him looking down to his wrist to spot the early stages of grayscale.
I mean, I love my arm.
I'm chopping this motherfucker off.
Like it's. I don't know. I don't see any other option. Luckily he got cured, but like,
I think what's crazy is I think that his need to help Daenerys trumps his self-preservation. And I think that getting Tyrion to her is his highest priority. Like he's like, I can't, and the only way he can do that is if he is bodily capable. He's like, well, I have to have, so like.
Yeah, and how's he going to do it? It's just him and Tyrion,
Nope. Yeah, he's like, I'm going to get him there. That's the only way now. But yeah, that concluded the episode. My fucking God, was it another good one. Ooh. Probably my favorite of the season.
Yeah.
Might be the best of the season.
This one was nice. Nice to look at. Every conversation was meaningful and like, the biggest event to happen, like Stannis leaves Castle Black and Daenerys shows people, like reminds them who she is.
Yeah. I think this might be a 9.75 enjoyment for me.
This one's pretty, I don't know. We had everything. You had the horror. You saw all 3 dragons. We saw the wall and like all that goodness, and Aemon giving Jon some good talk. That's always nice.
John becoming more and more the man he will be.
Like even when Melisandre's leaving, she like still looks at John like, "There's something about you, man. I don't know.
Yep.
I think I might have to come back and bring you back to life here soon."
Something like that.
But no, I'd agree. This is as close to a 10 as you can get, and it's like there's no battle. This isn't a penultimate. This is just middle of the season. Checking in with everybody. It's just this constant build. Like, yeah, I don't know. The show's insane. Like, you're like expecting something to happen, but you're not disappointed when nothing does because of just how good just
so
two
good
people
anyway.
sitting in a room can be. Yeah, it's nuts. But yeah, I'd agree with that 9.75 there. Just we've kept it just going this season. 8.5, 8.75, 9, a little bit higher of a jump from 9 to 9.5, but then now one more jump to 9.75.
What's crazy is I know we have one surefire 10 this season, so like that's at least.
We'll see what Unbound, Unbent, and Unbroken brings to us.
I don't think I'll have a great time with that one.
But you think I will?
I don't think I will.
Oh, I forget what happens.
That's the wedding. Ramsay and Sansa and
ooh,
the night that ensues after.
Ooh,
so that's great. Never looking forward to scenes like that, so that blows.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, this one's definitely a 9.75.
Yeah, this one's good.
It while I got it.
But yeah, critically, what's the best we've given an episode critically this season?
9.25.
This might deserve that bump above. I would say. I think it felt like the best.
I think it's the best. I think it's the best. Written, so like performed, visual, everything like that needs to be done to make it happen was like this is. Yeah, I don't know. It's either 9.5 or 9.75, but I think like I think it's calm enough to be like a 9.5. The editing and the fight was a little jarring, a little bit.
But that's like the only thing I can think of.
There probably wasn't the actual only thing that
there wasn't a scene where I literally could not stand the conversation people were having, like the Sandsmith's last episode,
and even that editing gripe. It isn't even really that bad. Like it's still like the moment is very tense and very like everything's going crazy. So yeah, I think
that makes sense.
9.5 is fair. Yeah. Let's see what other 9.5s critically. Laws of Gods and Men, episode 6 of last season.
Ooh, that's Tyrion's trial. It's high praise.
Ooh, okay. Kissed by Fire, episode 5.
It's John's first time he gets his dick wet.
Okay, and now his watch is ended. Oh, is that Mormont going bye-bye at Craster? Yeah, okay. And some good company. The Prince of Winterfell, episode 8 of season 2. So, it's up there. And this one...
goodies.
Yeah, I don't even know. If you look back on this episode, what would you say the big event was? How would you, like... There's not really anything you can to be like, oh yeah, this was the episode that blank happened. And like, you just
maybe Jorah gets grayscale. Maybe that would be the thing, but...
Yeah, that could be it.
John agrees to go to Hardhome. You know, like John makes the decision to let the wildlings pass. Like,
that is a big moment. Yeah, Castle Black is changing, beginning of a revolution.
Yeah.
So
man, so what's that bring it to?
9.58 on average, which is the highest of the season. For sure. Next highest was episode 2, 9.1 or 9.08. Let's see on good old IMDb.
It's only an 8.5 there.
Oh, okay. I wonder how they score the next episode, knowing what happens.
7.9, which is the lowest of the season.
Okay, and then back up to an 8.8,
and then a 9.8, and then a 9.4,
Damn,
and then a 9.1.
Damn.
Yeah, we got a lot to look forward to. Next week, Jamie and Braun really put them to the test down in the place. John heads east as trouble begins in Castle Black for Sam and Gilly. Sansa asks Theon for help. Tyrion and Jorah are sold.
Mm-hmm.
Then 8, Hard Home. Then 9, The Dance of Dragons. That's the first time Dany rides the dragon.
It's nice.
And then the finale, Stannis arrives at Winterfell. Jon gets killed.
Not okay. Yeah, well, we don't even see any of Jon's travels.
Dude,
we just see
by
him.
the end of this season, Tyrion is running Marine.
Is what?
Running
Marine? Holy shit. Wow.
The finale of the show, he assumes command in Marine.
How fast does Tyrion get there? He gets to... Oh, he's in Marine. Okay, he's in Marine at Hardhome. Oh, Hardhome, he gets to Marine.
And then 9
8.
is when they do the Fighting Pits Championship, which is the first time the Sons of the Harpy do the mass scale attack, and Dany hops on her dragon to stop it and stuff. Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Where is Valyria? I'm trying to find where that is on the map. Oh, there it is. Never mind, I see now. Yeah, a lot of just like little broken up islands, and shit. My headcanon, it was massive fire constructed by them. That was their Manhattan Project, is how they went down, and then they had to flood the whole shit to put it out. So it was a massive fire and flood, and it was a bigger island with a bigger city, and it was grand and cool. Now the Stone Men live there, and they're mega smart, but they protect their borders by seeming crazy.
There you go. That's a headcanon if I've ever heard one. But yeah, with that, we conclude this episode of Winter is Blooming.
Mm-hmm.
If you would, head to patreon.com/pennybloomPod, where you'll find over 50 hours of exclusive content. For $3 a month, you can support this podcast financially. We're discussing Ahsoka week to week over there, and I'm assuming today, Monday, there will be an episode covering last week's Ahsoka ahead of tomorrow's, and I'm very excited for that. Yeah, tons of stuff over there, and that helps a lot because this podcast costs me money, and I don't make any off of it unless it's over there. Head to Twitter, follow at PennyBloomPod, follow on Instagram at PennyBloomPodcast. Remember to leave a 5-star rate and review, and to download and continue listening as we push forth with Winter is Blooming. You know, I'm thinking that next week we got Season 5, Episode 6, Unbowed, Unbent, Unbroken. And I think, actually, it's the first time I'm telling you this, Joe, that the Monday after that, we're probably going to take a pause on Game of Thrones just to make the 3 a week a little more sexier and cover a couple Wes Anderson short films in 2 Mondays.
I like that.
Yeah. Do it on Friday before, Monday after, and 2 and 2. It'll be nice and even.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then this Wednesday we are continuing our top 100 favorite movies with part 9. We are almost done. 11 through 19 this Wednesday, and then the top 10 next Wednesday. And we continue, and I believe conclude. No, we continue.
The top 100?
No, our comic book movie journey through film. Is the last one this Friday?
Yes. Rise of the Silver Surfer is this Friday.
Yeah, that'll be the last one we have until Iron Man here in about a month and a half. So I'm very, very excited for that because, you know, we're going to put that on hold for the Scorsese director's spotlight. We're doing The King of Comedy. We're doing After Hours. We're doing Casino, Gangs of New York, Shutter Island, and The Irishman in anticipation of Killers of the Flower Moon. So we got a lot coming up, and we're very, very excited to tackle it. Remember to stand in solidarity with SAG-AFTRA and WGA as they continue their struggle against the studios. Can't imagine Brian Cogman made a lot of money off of that viewing you gave it on Max, you know?
Probably not, no.
Probably none, actually.
Yeah.
And that's what's insane. These people deserve to be compensated for their work and the life these shows have on streaming services. So, yeah. With that, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you. And remember, peace, love, and bloom, and kill the boy.